King again, reporting live from the streets of the Chi, Planet Fitness to be exact. And I want to chime in on something that's a hot topic in Chicago in particular, because 2 officers were shot recently. One is deceased and the other one is fighting for his life by a hardened career criminal. And the big debate is about some legislation. That's what I'm gonna call it. I guess that's what it is and shit. I don't know all the legal terms, but it's called the SAFE-T Act. And what people don't understand is the SAFE-T Act was brought on partially because of law enforcement. Jim Crow Joe Biden and crooked Bill Clinton with the what the fuck is the 1994 crime bill. So the SAFE-T Act came about because they're trying to undo all that shit. A lot of motherfuckers is locked up, still getting out for some minor crimes, weed and shit. Motherfuckers doing 20 years and shit like that for weed. Now weed is legalized, so they trying to undo some of the justices of that bullshit. But it's not working because the shit is flawed. Part of the problem was the what they call the two-tier legal system with blacks and others in particular and shit. Blacks always got the harshest penalties. One of the reasons SAFE-T Act came about is because the no bail shit, matter of fact, because you had people, I'm in Chicago, once again, I guess I said that already and shit, but you had people actually doing time where they were fighting their cases, and that violates due process, I believe that's the term, because you have the right to a speedy trial. So you actually had people sitting in county jails around the country, in Chicago in particular, motherfuckers fighting cases from the county jail, Cook County Jail, which is, I guess, deemed unconstitutional. But the legal system's so fucked up, you had motherfuckers sitting in there. They couldn't get you to a speedy trial. You couldn't get a speedy trial because there's so many motherfuckers getting locked up because there's so much crime that they were bagged up. So some people fell through the cracks, and you would be sitting in the county jail for $100 bond because people were that broke or didn't have no family members or friends that fuck with them. So you had people sitting in jail for $100. You know, you're getting caught with one bag of crack in the 80s and 90s and shit like that in particular and shit because of the Joe Biden racist ass in his 1994 crime bill. Where crack you got 100 times the time or some shit like that. Some of us be sitting in jail, $100 bonds, $500 bonds. So plus you got the people that were actually innocent. You know, motherfuckers don't believe. Some of the motherfuckers in jail really didn't do it. You had two crooked cops in particular in Chicago. One on the low end called Ronald Watts. I think they just recently took his ass down not too long ago. People from the low end, Ida B. Wells, Bronzeville, and all that shit, they can tell you about Ronald Watts. And then the other motherfucker was Commander John Burge, where he was beating false confessions out of motherfuckers, torturing motherfuckers. So you had people doing 25, 36 years for murders that they didn't commit. So that put the whole city of Chicago and taxpayers in a bind. Because once these dudes got out, DNA evidence and all that shit exonerated them. The city then paid more than $1 billion out, if I'm not mistaken. Because you had motherfuckers that, 25 million here for a lawsuit because of police misconduct, 3 million there, 7 million there, 1.2 million, 700,000, 17 million, millions or more millions of the taxpayers' dollars because of a couple crooked cops. Well, ain't a couple crooked cops, but a lot of crooked cops, but 2 crooked cops in particular. You got motherfuckers from the 80s and 90s still getting out of jail, and the dude, John Burge, I think he only did like 3 years in jail, but he lived a long life and shit down in Florida. Lived his best life down in Florida and shit, and he died. Been dead and gone for a minute. I forgot when he died and shit. I had to look it up, but I'm on the motherfucking Stairmaster right now, so I can't do that. But you know, for years to come, there will still be people that are still alive, still getting out of jail from the shit John Burge did. Commander John Burge out of the hundreds, I think it was 111th, that police station off the expressway, off I-94. Yeah, motherfuckers still getting out of jail from shit that he done did in the 80s, 90s. It's 2026. So once them dudes get out of jail, the city got to cut them checks too and shit, because the lawyer's going to be on that ass. So, the Safety Act, you know, they got to let motherfuckers out of jail once again, because you're not supposed to be sitting in that motherfucker, so you got to let them out. Now, where they can tweak it, or where it should be tweaked, it shouldn't be motherfuckers getting out on house arrest and shit like that for violent crimes. I can agree with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you got menaces to the society and shit. Then got out on one case, a carjacking case. Got no bail on the carjacking case. Then robbed the motherfucker while they was out on that no bail, and then got house arrest for the robbery, and then broke house arrest and did some other shit. And depending on what it was, sometimes them motherfuckers got out again. So it's a broken system. They gonna have to fix that shit, but I don't know how the dude, I don't know how that motherfucker got that gun in. Superintendent, the former superintendent, disgraced superintendent, Eddie Johnson and shit, he said he believed the motherfucker had a gun tucked in his ass or some shit. I don't know how the fuck how you tuck a Glock in your ass. I don't believe that shit. But that's what he's trying to say. So, you know, if that motherfucker still had that gun on him, that's on the police officers that got shot. That's on them. That's their fault. You're supposed to pat a motherfucker down. Especially a motherfucker who, I think they had pistol whipped and beat up a woman at a Family Dollar and robbed her. So, shit, you supposed to thoroughly patted that motherfucker down. So, keep it a buck. They brought that shit on themselves. They say don't blame the victim, but, you know, critics are saying, the critics of the Safety Act saying that the police officers are handcuffed to a certain extent, figuratively, scared to do their jobs, they don't want to get fired. Some of them don't want to be considered a racist, but fuck that. Shit. I was a cop, goddammit, patting them motherfuckers down. But all the shit that's going on, chickens have come home to roost. That's all it is. You know, they've been doing the stop and frisk shit. That shit been going on in Chicago and New York, but Chicago in particular. I don't believe they ever even really stopped the stop and frisk shit. I don't be in the streets like that, so shit, I wouldn't know. So I guess the block dudes can chime in. But, yeah, the Safety Act came about because shit, the cops was doing a lot of bullshit. You had detectives in Chicago and shit illegally searching motherfuckers and shit, putting drugs and weapons on motherfuckers. Motherfuckers beating people up. Motherfuckers beat me up before, put some dope on me. They can put guns on motherfuckers. So, you know, some of that shit they gotta eat. Some of that shit they did bring on themselves. You know, it's a catch-22 with that shit. So, you know, if you clean the Safety Act up, things might be a little bit better in the city of Chi. Cause this motherfucker going to hell in a handbasket as of right now. Especially after George Floyd 2020. They actually allow motherfuckers to loot all around the country, Chicago in particular. We lost the Walmart in the hood, 83rd and Van Rant, 83rd and Holland to be exact. We lost all Walmart and shit. So, Chicago and the Democrats gonna have to get your shit together, dog. Real talk. You know, motherfuckers don't even own the rights to the streets. They just sold the rights to the Skyway. Bunch of crazy ass shit going on around this motherfucker. So, you know, you've been voting for the Democrats. I think it's damn near like 90 years straight. Who the fuck does that? Chicago. So you get a change of the regime, you're gonna have the same old going on. So Democrats, Chicago. I don't know what's gonna go on with that Chicago flips red. I'm not sure if Chicago will ever have a Republican mayor. Has some Republican governors and shit, but I don't know about the mayor. So until Chicago gets that shit together, it's gonna continue to go down. Motherfucking Bears leaving the city, maybe the state. So that's definitely gonna tarnish Brandon Johnson's already fucked up legacy. What's going on around this motherfucker? What was that, 2023, 218, 213 businesses left Illinois, Chicago in particular. A lot of businesses left Chicago. A bunch of heavy hitters like Tyson Foods. Democrats, get your shit together. That's about it for now. This is King Shane signing off. We'll get back at you on the next one. Finish this workout, man.